Day 23 out of 66 days to transform your self-image today. And while I don't normally talk about people, because I'm not about gossip, what I am doing right now is going back over all of my notes from English and Cultural Studies and Critical Theory 1B03 from January 11th, 2007, were when these notes began. The Berenstain Bears, Arthur and Friends. And PBS is mandated to educate. It's talking about so many factors we're experiencing, including interpolation and biopower, which is the unification of politics with biological matter. And interpolation is actually coming to relate to identity such as, hey, you in the green shirt was the example referenced in my notes that I'm grateful for. So I think the earlier version of me that took detailed notes on representation and culture, and the quote, nothing meaningful exists outside of discourse. Well, were they talking about discourse, or were they talking about a different course? So I'm making a play on words, but it is significant because detox is required, and the talks we have with ourselves are important to beware of the nature of, if we are to make sure that we don't fall prey to the corruption that is at the root of the indoctrination of all of the insanity that we have been living through. We manage ourselves and control ourselves through consciousness and physicality. Transnational corporations, in particular the global communications industry, are primary vehicles for the circulation of biopower. Culture changes how power flows, works through effect at the deepest levels of interaction with culture. And then it was referencing the Western Eyes video, where two girls who got folds put in their eyes were captured. And the media makes the girls feel like they have to look a certain way. That wasn't what I was going to say when this message started, because it was actually about the woman being referred to as Queen Romana of Canada, Queen of Canada. She ain't my queen. And actually in August of 2021, when I was first addressing the false charges or allegations against me for violating an act I never got paid to act in, I actually had drafted a notice to the woman known as Romana and also the woman known as Her Majesty, because there were two competing queens, essentially, and I wanted to know which one was supposed to be in the courtroom to hear the false allegation being moved in their name. And I didn't end up sending it because it felt a little ridiculous, but there's the part of me that kind of wishes that I had, because now it seems that this Romana is still going strong, and she's got thousands of people giving her money, giving her attention, giving her time, giving her support. I have joined a Telegram group where now I get these broadcasts that she's going live daily, which means she's stealing people's time, energy, effort, attention, and money on a daily basis to support her as the queen of a new corporation that people aren't recognizing is what it is. We are in the midst of a corporatocratic takeover where biopower is the mixing of what is real and what is not. The biology and the power construct are two unequal things that are implied to be equal, yet it's not true. And on some level, we knew it. So I want to expose this, but right now, I'm just making it clear to you that if you are the woman known as Romana Didulo, who's acting as Queen of Canada, I challenge your claim as a woman with my known name to say it would be the same as if I stood up and claimed to be the leader of a new corporation. I don't. Though I did found Peaceful Inner Warriors United as a way to help guide people on the journey inward, which is required now more than ever. It's not all of this outside external BS belief systems that would make someone think that because you've claimed the name of Queen of Canada, that means anything. It doesn't. Unless people make it mean something and then give you power as the entity that they're investing their identity into as the savior that is going to save them from what? Us. And I believe that those who are taking the knee to be knighted and titled are part of another counterfeit version of what's already counterfeit. It's absolute insanity, and it blows my mind, and it really irritates and frustrates me because I have wasted a lot of people's time unintentionally because of my long-winded messages that haven't had a point specifically. I just share what's the best that I've got and then believe that that could maybe vibrationally impact or help someone. So I've been doing my best, and I haven't necessarily done it the best that I could once I knew more because of who I invited into and under my hood, which is my consciousness. And it's also the hood of my neighborhood, where I need to know who my neighbors are in order to be able to band together, to be able to overcome all of the belief systems that have caused us to be divided by walls of belief systems that seem really too tall to climb over or go around at all. Because these belief systems are ultimately needing to have the walls of the words dropped in order for us to create bridges to be able to connect with one another again, and not need one woman to stand up and proclaim herself to be the new savior. It's just the old model in a new package. Please, if this is confusing, upsetting, if this is controversial, if this is jarring for you in any way, please reach out to me privately and we can have a discussion. We can have a public conversation as well where you can challenge me and I'll hold my ground. And invite the woman Romana. If you think that she is the queen that's going to save anyone, invite her to actually have a showdown with me, and I'll look her in the eyes because I am going to maintain my head about me. And we need to know how to do that. And so I don't mean in any way specifically to pick on Romana, because if she is doing good things, if her intention is good, if she is not just a plant to make people think that the counterfeit version is now in a new package that's different, when it's really just sharing the bones with a different flag or face or logo of logos, which is the logic that ultimately governs that whole branch of a new power. Come to a meeting. Let's have one. And ultimately, Queen Romana, she's another woman to me. She is not my queen. Her corporation, I don't acknowledge. And if she has any grounds to it, I want to know. Because if it's legitimate, I'd love to support it. I just don't believe it is. And I believe that there are a lot of people whose time, energy, effort, attention, and money, a lot of people's team are going into a woman that is promoting a false narrative that is hurting a lot of people by trusting the wrong source of power. Whether it's government, whether it's Romana Didulo, whether it's anyone else that is using a fictitious model to promote their own ideologies. However it goes, we gotta know. And the only way we can do it is if we actually go to get together and then find out in company, in good company. We're good company. And the great companies are not going to be corporated. We are the ones that come into good company together and then can create amazing things because we created a culture that is going to serve us. And yes, it's the cult you are part of, because that's how culture is spelt. So if it can be used against us, why can't we make it work for us? Thought of the day, day 23. And I'll say, in 2007, this was the day I found my beloved cat, Julius Romeo. So, thinking of my little man, and got my new one, who is indecently exposed in this moment. Enjoy your day.